Let's go. Go, 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 go.
Do you think as well, because again we're seeing, you know, the damage that we're doing, we're seeing the point that we're in, trying to freaking bring back woolly mammoths to try to bring some kind of balance back into the world. Now with the way that we're projecting down, and the fact that we're going to have Mars or moon earthly orbit vacations through the Virgin Mobile thingy, do you feel like maybe we've gone past the point of no return, where now our only hope is to look for a plan B, either on a super Earth or on a Mars or something, like almost, at least maybe for those that have money? Because I mean, if we're trying to colonize, I mean, isn't that the best way to really start fresh, rather than try to fix a world for a population that maybe we can do without?
And so I think,
as messed up as that sounds,
I think we may be close to a point of no return, where we're pretty close to fucking destroying this earth as we know it. But Neil deGrasse Tyson actually had a real good point, because he was talking about how he was like, you know, we're talking about getting to Mars, and he was like, and you know, terraforming Mars and all that, and he was like, I don't have no problem with that, but he was like, if we're gonna figure out the technology to terraform Mars, why don't we just re-terraform Earth? I was like, you have a point. Like, so yeah, because you do, as a species, you want to become a more than one planetary system. You want to be able to move over to Mars, and you want to get some people on some of these moons or wherever. You want your to make sure that your species lives on. You want them on as many different planets and all that as possible. So if an asteroid hits Earth, okay, well, we're still good. We got some people over there. But when it comes to the terraforming part of it, we still need to figure out how to fix what's going on here, because all we're going to end up doing is going to Mars and then doing the same exact thing and destroying that. And then as you go further and further out into space, it gets harder and harder to reach out further into space. So if we're going to terraform Mars, let's try to figure out how to fix Earth first.
Do you think that would take us having to dismantle most of the things that we already have in place, like transportation and whatever kind of thing that, you know, our coal systems, you know, creating heat and whatnot?
Well, that's one of the main things, is getting rid of coal and gas cars and all that. And that's why it kills me when we have these election seasons, and like the Trump had just recently did that. Oh, there's an attack on the coal industry. Oh, they want you Americans to suffer. No, that's a poor source of energy that causes more pollution than it fixes anything. And so it's not saying, hey, make all those people homeless and all that. So let's create solar plants, and then let's spend time and money to train those coal workers how to work on these solar plants. And so that's all it is, or whatever. You just teach people how to do new stuff. And then that's a lot of times the problem. Well, no, I have this one way of doing things. I just have to always just do it this one way, always. No, you need to progress, and this old way doesn't work anymore. So now we have a new way. So you move coal workers over into the solar plants. You take all these gasoline car companies, wherever, you move them over to electric car companies. That's the reason why, shouts out to Tesla. I loved how he's been.
Are you talking about Elon Musk?
Yeah, Elon Musk. Excuse me.
Because you know he had to step down from Tesla, right?
Yeah, I saw that bullshit. Yeah, but
I mean, hopefully it's just semantics and politics. But
yeah, it's politics. And that was all over him smoking weed, which again, that's the reason why it's so fucking stupid. Because he smoked weed on Joe Rogan. So, oh my god, you can't run this company. But that's all another topic. But I love how he was like, okay, we need to move over to these electronic cars. And then he came up with a blueprint. And so he was like, you know, the excuse these other companies are coming up with is that, oh, well, we don't have the blueprints to make these things. So he released his blueprints online. Here's the blueprints of how we created this Tesla car. All you guys have access to it now because it's online, and now there's no excuse for everyone to make electronic cars. Like, there's no excuse to not move on to this new technology that is not as harmful on the earth. And if you don't want to move on to the new technology, it's because you're a selfish asshole.
I can't.
That's just plain and simple what it comes down to.
He really let the blueprints online like that?
He did that like 2 years ago. He released the blueprints online where you could download them, and any of these car companies could start making these electronic cars. And so that was the whole thing. Like
a copyright after that, but still, at least you have a general workspace on where to lay the groundwork on.
So he released it because that was the whole thing. Is like Tesla's the only one doing it right now, and 85% of the material within Tesla cars are not found in regular cars. So that's the reason why Tesla cars cost so much, because they had to completely like reinvent the wheel. So that's the reason why it costs so much to make one of their cars. Now, if the blueprint's out and if everybody starts doing this or whatever, and then with the capitalist system that we work in, other companies could come in and start mass producing all those different pieces, and then now all of a sudden it's a lot cheaper to make that electronic car because everyone's making it. So that was his goal. Is it to, I'm gonna release this and copyright infringement and sue people? No, it's here's the blueprints, let's fits. And that's the reason why, shouts out to Elon Musk, he is the closest fucking thing we have to a real life superhero nowadays, because he sees that there's issues in the world and this is what we need to work on to fix what's going on in the world. And unfortunately, you have a lot of people who are fucking selfish assholes. So,
as is the demise of the humankind. And I think the Bible started off that way somehow.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
If you didn't like this podcast, it's probably cause you're racist.
Yeah.
Fuck your feelings though.
Yeah. What's up, man? You hear me?